rapamycin as a preventative of chronic disease, potentially?
The time when senescence is, for most people, going to be starting to cross that threshold. So we want to, we think of aging and we think of all these diseases and we think of them all as separate, but in the end.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I'm naturopath Fiona Chin, co-founder of the Kidney Disease Solution, Kidney Coaching Cryogenesis. And I'm joined again today by the fabulous and wonderful Dr. Morgan Camp. Dr. Camp is a functional medicine practitioner. He's been working for 20 years now in the functional area. And tell me, rapamycin, so most people think of rapamycin if they've come across it as a drug, but it was actually discovered as in the dirt in Easter Island. Have I got that right?
Yes. So it was discovered in 1965 in the soil of Easter Island. Scientists I don't know what they were looking for, but they scooped up soil. And then it's a long, fascinating story, how it happened, how they discovered it. They basically, some chemists were working for a company, and then they put it in their freezer at work. Then the company went out of business, and then they trained the chemist, like the last second, grabbed that bag out of his freezer. They didn't even discover what they had for 10, 15 years, I don't believe, and I don't remember all the details. But it took a long time for them to discover actually what they had. So it's actually an antifungal from the soil. And it's interesting that an antifungal is at the heart of treating a lot of chronic illnesses here and preventing those, interestingly enough. But yeah, the name Rapa comes from Rapa Nui, which is the native name for Easter Island. What does rapamycin do? Well, we think it's slowing down that geroconversion process. So it's slowing down the conversion of healthy cells to senescent cells. So again, if we start this at an early enough age, then we will, in theory, slow down that creation of those senescent cells, which are driving disease.
So can I ask then, is this something, and so rapamycin in a sense is anti-aging or slowing the aging process by preventing this geroconversion. Would you recommend that anybody then take rapamycin as a preventative of chronic disease potentially?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, starting again, you don't need to do this earlier in life, but starting around, age 40 is what science seems to be showing is the time when senescence is, for most people, going to be starting to cross that threshold. So we want to catch it before it crosses that threshold. What this is pointing at, Fiona, is a topic that most people haven't really talked about and very few doctors think about. But actually, we think of aging and we think of all these diseases and we think of them all as separate. But in the end, all these chronic diseases everybody have is just aging. It's a manifestation of aging, and it's a manifestation of this mTOR mechanism going haywire, which we'll go into. So I recommend anybody who wants to look at that discussion deeper, they can look at Dr. Alan Green's website. He has a good website. I think it's called Rapamycin Therapy or something like that. He's a doctor in New York. He's an older gentleman who is basically somewhat came out of retirement to start practicing this medicine. So I've talked to him on a few occasions. He's a good resource for this, and he mostly treats doctors who want this, and he's got a few thousand doctors now, I think he's treating. So he's got probably more patients on rapamycin than anybody else. So he's a very good resource. And his website has all the science and all the research. And he also goes into some philosophical questions like we're discussing now, like, are all these illnesses that we get with old age, like atherosclerosis, dementia, Alzheimer's, diabetes, are these separate diseases, or they're all just part of the same process? Well, what science shows is that underneath all these illnesses is an mTOR pathway gone haywire. And we'll talk about what that means and the science behind that here going forward through the rest of the talk.
I'll put your website details below. If you Google Dr. Morgan Camp, his details will come up, and his actual website where you can contact him is drmorgancamp.com. If you go onto the website there, there's an intake form, and you can do a concierge service through there and give him a contact. Dr. Camp, thank you again. Remember to hit like and subscribe. That way you'll get notified anytime we put up new videos. If there's any content that you would like Dr. Camp to talk about, please put in the comments below, and I'm sure I can wrangle him back into doing another podcast for us. And remember to head to our website, www.kidneycoach.com, to find out more about what we do. In the meantime, thank you for being part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again, Dr. Camp. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.